Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan Abramski. I'm the Director of Business Development, and I'm joined as always with Teresa Jackson, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for EasyLiving. We're a home care and care management agency serving the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. Care Management video series is brought to you by our friends over at the Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, seniorlivingguide.com, your one-stop local and statewide resource for all things senior housing and health. Anything from home care services like EasyLiving to assisted living facilities, memory care, senior health and wellness, and care management services, again, like EasyLiving. Check out Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, seniorlivingguide.com, and they will mail you an issue right to your home directly via the mail. So, Teresa, welcome back to another week. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
So, today, I kind of want to bring a real-world example of one of our clients here. So this is us, again, we kind of mentioned in the past that we work with different attorneys and elder law attorneys in the area. So one of these attorneys that we work with has one of their clients, and she took a fall a few weeks ago, and she's in the rehab center currently right now trying to rehab herself back to health. She doesn't really have any kind of like close family or friends or anyone that can really help her deal with her situation. There's a bit of confusion there, and she's under the impression that she has some upcoming surgeries and some doctor's appointments and stuff like that. The facilities, they're very overwhelmed. They have dozens and dozens of other patients inside the building, and it seems like she's kind of a little bit frustrated with the communication and making sure that she has everything set up. And I think it's a little difficult for her being inside the rehab facility and not maybe having access to everything in her own home. So with that being said, how can a care manager kind of help with that type of situation?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is the exact situation to bring in a care manager to help, because when you were talking and describing her situation, I was kind of visualizing, her at home. She's probably, more able to manage her daily life. She probably has a little calendar where she keeps her appointments written down. And so up until this point, this fall, she seemed to be doing very well, most likely. No concerns. But she had a fall. She's had a change in condition. She's been in the hospital, may or may not have had surgery. And now she's in a rehab setting where she's had limited contact. And again, she doesn't have the family members calling, hey, how's it going? What did the therapist do today? Don't forget your appointment the first of the month. We've got that on the schedule. She doesn't have that support. So to bring in a care manager to find out, and you had mentioned earlier where the attorney thought she had some appointments scheduled too, but nobody's really not sure. So a care manager could definitely go in, reach out to all the necessary physicians, her primary, any of the specialists that she may be seeing, verify from the facility, does she have a follow-up with the surgeon? Typically, you're going to have a follow-up with the surgeon if she had surgery after her fall. I don't know if she broke anything or not, but if she, this is very typical. If you fall and you break something and you have that surgery, you're going to have a follow-up with the surgeon. Maybe that's the surgery she's talking about. Maybe she is confused about, any upcoming appointments. And so a care manager can come in and just verify what's going on, communicate that to her, and make sure that, everything's put in place. Is she going to have that follow-up appointment while she's at the facility? Does the facility provide that necessary transportation? Are they even allowing outside appointments at this time, or does it have to be rescheduled? And then when she's going home to be discharged home, how much care, if any, does she need at home? Is she going to need home care to come in to help with meals? Was she driving? This is definitely, I'm sorry,
It's
the
okay.
phone just rang. I forgot to put it on mute. This is definitely where a care manager can come in to help make sure that, after the appointments, are there medication changes? Too often I see when somebody goes home, if they don't have that extra support and oversight, when there is a little bit of confusion going on, they go back into the same medication routine that they were in before.
Hmm.
And maybe things were changed while she was in the hospital, and that just hasn't translated to her new pharmacist or her regular pharmacist. And she'll go home and she'll see those medications on the counter that she took before, and she might start taking them again, and it may or may not be correct. So managing this transition from the rehab center to the home, back
Hmm.
home, is critical. It's
Yep.
critical to prevent a rehospitalization, because if she doesn't have the necessary support, she's going to end up back in the hospital. And
Absolutely.
if that happens too many times, then eventually, someone, they just don't end up, they just don't get to go home.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of you know, advocating for her,
Mm-hmm.
the care managers will also, relay that stuff back to the facilities too. So they're up to speed, and also the attorney, so they know that their clients are being taken care of as well.
Exactly.
So, and as you mentioned too, with getting her set up with home care too, you guys can make that evaluation and work with the different discharge planners and different social workers too at the facility or at the surgery centers and whatnot, and work with them to make sure she does have enough help. I think, you know, we see it too often. People get help, but is it enough help, especially right after a major surgery? Because this, particular client is talking about a brain surgery and a back surgery. Those are very, very major type surgeries
Oh
that
my
she's looking
gosh.
to have.
I
So,
Yeah, I can't imagine going through a situation like that without some type of support. And the facility's goal is to get her rehab back to a certain point and to discharge her home.
mhm,
Now, granted, they do not want her to go back into the hospital. They're doing everything they can to get her to the highest level of functionality as they possibly can.
yeah,
But they don't necessarily know what barriers might be at home, that could facilitate another hospitalization. Maybe it is, I don't have someone going to the grocery store. I need more assistance with transportation or assistance with transportation. My medication management system in place is not going to work at this point in time, because maybe there is that increased level of confusion. And sometimes we see, once we can get the client back home, this doesn't necessarily have to be an ongoing situation forever and forever. Maybe we can get her back at home with that support, and then we can cut back home care, we can cut back the care management, just to provide some oversight, to keep to monitor her, to make sure everything's going okay, and to be there, hopefully to prevent the next hospitalization. But gosh forbid if it does happen, then we can be there and advocate for her in the hospital as well.
absolutely. Well, Teresa, thank you so much. I think a lot of people unfortunately run into this situation, whether they have a family or friend support system, or they're by themselves. They just feel like things aren't being answered and things aren't being set up correctly. So, get that care manager in there and let them help advocate for you from day one all the way
Yes,
through.
yes, and we so appreciate a referral like this from our partners out there in the community. But what I would ask the attorneys, the financial planners, whomever, is to think about that client that could have that next hospitalization.
Hmm.
What can we do to maybe prevent that? Because that's what we're here for, to reduce the risk for our clients, for their clients, to increase their quality of life. And if there are family members, to help ease any burden that they might have when it comes to being a caregiver.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Teresa. And for any questions out there, feel free to post them in the comment section. Send us a message directly on our Facebook page, or you can visit our website and fill out the contact us form. That'll come directly to one of us here in the office, and we'll be sure to reach out to you and put you in touch with the appropriate person to handle your unique situation. So we hope to see everyone next week. Teresa, thank you again. We'll see everyone next time.